The LA County Sheriff's Department has released the body cam footage of a Lancaster woman. 27-year-old Niani Finlayson was by a deputy after she called 911 to report that her ex-boyfriend had tried to steal her.
And our news reporter Michelle Fisher is live in the newsroom with a shocking new video on this story. Michelle.
Well, David and Giovanna, a little more than 3.5 weeks ago, this fatal death occurred. The Sheriff's Department today releasing the 911 audio and that body camera footage from the December 4th incident in the name of transparency. A warning that the footage you're going to see may be disturbing to some. 27-year-old Niani Finlayson, an LA County Sheriff's deputy. The fatal encounter coming after she'd been the one to call them for help minutes earlier.
I need the police here. This man, he won't get out of my house now.
Finlayson heard here making that frantic 911 call shortly after 6 on December the 4th, asking for help at the Cedar Ridge Apartments in Lancaster.
Yeah, I need the police here right now. No, because he won't get his hands off of me.
This body camera footage showing deputies responding to the domestic disturbance, hearing yelling from inside, then attempting to force entry into the apartment. Finlayson eventually opening the door with a large kitchen knife in her hand.
Yeah, I'm going to stab him because he is my.
You can see weapons drawn as the deputies enter the unit. The deputy in front handing her colleague a taser as they step inside and first encounter Finlayson's 9-year-old daughter. We're freezing the video because of the disturbing nature, but within a matter of seconds, as Finlayson turns towards her boyfriend with a knife in the living room, the officer with a taser draws his service weapon and opens fire, striking Finlayson multiple times. That question, top of mind for many as the community gets a first look at the footage made public today. LA County Sheriff Robert Luna saying in a statement, quote, the department released the body-worn camera footage ahead of the legal time frame to demonstrate our commitment to transparency and the visual representation of the facts in this case. As the comprehensive review process continues, the department will gain additional insight into the incident with the goal of improving public safety. And per California law, body-worn camera footage from a deputy must be released within 45 days of the incident. While the LA County Sheriff's Department continues its investigation, the LA County DA's office also conducting its own independent review. Finlayson's family, meantime, filing a $30 million claim against the county.
All right, peace and blessings, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. All praises to the Most High. And ask yourself, how do you become a victim of a police fatality when you are the one who called the police and asked for their assistance? The video that you just saw was concerning 27-year-old Niani Finlayson of Los Angeles, California. They're saying Lancaster, but I say LA County. Evidently, Lancaster is like a suburb of that area. But this incident happened on December the 4th, 2023, in which you just saw the footage where the young lady called the police and asked them to come because this man won't keep his hands off of me. He won't get out of my house. And actually, that 911 call was about 16 minutes. As one activist said, they actually doctored the 911 call and the video to piece it together to match their narrative. Now, you saw the police come into the home. They didn't announce themselves as police, but they attempted to kick the door in. And when they attempted to kick the door in, you see one officer hand the shooter, and that shooter's name is Ty Shelton, and we'll get to him in a minute, hand the shooter her taser and enter the apartment. And when they enter the apartment, you actually see the 9-year-old girl pointing at the man. And you also see Niani, when she opens the door, she got the knife in her hand. And what she says is, I'm about to stab him because he won't keep his hands off me. Now, we know, if you know black women, she not finna stab nobody, because when you trying to stab, she's irate, she's, making that veiled threat. I'm about to stab him because he won't keep his hands off of me. That was her way of telling the police he won't keep his hands off of her. the I'm about to stab him part was just a veiled emphasis on he won't keep his hands off of me. Now, the police, they don't say stop right there. They don't say drop the knife. They don't say, okay, everything is cool. We got him. Don't worry about it. But she goes over to the dude. Now, she didn't make a stabbing motion. She didn't do like this. She didn't raise her arm. But less than 5 or 6 seconds after entering that house, that officer unloaded multiple rounds in that young lady who had just celebrated her 27th birthday 3 weeks earlier. And also, to make it more egregious, is she did it right in front of her 9-year-old daughter as well. Now, Miss Finlayson leaves a 9-year-old daughter that you saw in the video and also a 3-year-old daughter. And also, you hear the man, the gentleman in there, her attacker, her estranged lover, whatever the case may be. Like, why did you shoot her? Why did you shoot her? Like, and the guy didn't offer any explanation. There was no explanation offered by the LA County sheriffs. You see, they tried to make the situation a little better, saying, yeah, we released the video ahead of the 45-day time limit that is required by our policy. And they said that according to their policy, anytime that there's a deputy involved shooting, then we have to release it in 45 days. Now, that's most disturbing because they actually have a policy where they have to release the footage. That means that this happens more than too often. And it was said that, the deputy was, placed on, leave as per protocol. And eventually, I think he was removed from the force. However, to my knowledge, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, if y'all know about this case out here in California, the officer has not been charged. However, the family has filed a $30 million lawsuit, in which I think that is still in litigation. But the bad part about this is this deputy, Ty Shelton, also unalived another man in 2020, almost 3 years before this incident, in another domestic disturbance call that he responded to. Now, in this situation, once again, Michael Thomas, they said that, he attempted to grab for the deputy's gun, and that's when he was unalived. However, this incident was not caught on tape. This was not caught on tape. There was no body cam footage of this incident, and so that means that this officer did not follow protocol. And this only happened 3 years ago. And once again, in this incident, the one that happened 3 years ago, he avoided prosecution. They laid him off while doing an investigation, and that investigation concluded that Shelton was wrong for deciding to shoot Thomas instead of using other tactics. But it was determined that there was insufficient evidence to prove Shelton acted unlawfully, which means, they didn't have any evidence because his body camera was off. So this guy, he avoided prosecution, and when he returned to work, he was promoted to a field training officer, and he earned nearly $200,000 in 2022. So this officer who unalived the man and was found wrong by an investigation gets promoted and makes nearly $250,000 a year after he is found wrong in taking the lives of others. Now, we all know the history of the LA PD If you don't remember the Rodney King, but there's several cases that have been tracked since 2013. It says 143 people have been unalived by LAPD. And so this officer, once again, they was removed, or Ty Shelton was removed, pending the final outcome of the department's critical incident review. And it says right here, one of the police representatives or the lawyer says it's pretty clear that what he did was wrong. The female deputy was there before the third female deputy was in the vicinity, and only he shot. In my opinion, Ty Shelton now has blood on his hands multiple times, and he ought to get prosecuted. And that's my opinion too. Once again, there were two other female deputies in that video that you saw before Ty Shelton came up there. And once again, it was a domestic violence call. They could have easily separated him. He had the taser in his hand. He didn't use that. This man literally is an assassin. And he probably felt that he was going to get away with this and get another promotion because he faced no discipline in the first incident. And once again, this happened in 2023, December the 4th. And so that's only about a year and some change ago. But this case has received no national coverage. And also another incident that this deputy is accused of, he said that he slammed a school janitor after the school janitor was talking trash. So this guy has a history of just violent behavior. And this was actually after he unalived Miss Finlayson. This was in March of 2024. So this was like 4 months after he unalived this lady. And so he's also being sued for that. So this guy, Ty Shelton, is basically, you know, like the movie with Kane and O-Dog. This guy is basically a menace to society. After unaliving one man, 62-year-old Michael Thomas, in 2020, then of course he unalived our sister Niani Finlayson. Then he's slamming people in certain situations. And so this is yet another case. I don't know how many cases we have to go through until they decide to do what is right. To do what is right by these rogue police officers. And as Tariq Nasheed calls them, these race soldiers. And the reason I think he says that, because once again, we don't see black police officers just shooting white people, whether they're unarmed or armed. But we always see white officers unaliving black people. Can anybody tell me why? And, you know, if you're white and you're listening to this, please tell me why. You know, because I know a lot of, you know, my white brothers and sisters watch the show. So y'all tell me why that this happened. Is there any excuse on the eve of Martin Luther King celebration? Tomorrow is the 20th. So we're going to, you know, I have to attend an event tomorrow in which, you know, he's been marching for years. We've been marching and talking and crying about injustice for years. These same injustices was going on in the 60s, where the police were spraying people with water hoses. sicking dogs on people, beating people unmercifully, and again, unaliving them frequently. And so what has changed from 1963 or 69, whenever Martin was killed, 65, I think, what has changed 60 years later, where we're still seeing Black people getting laid out in the streets like dogs? Y'all tell me what has changed. Y'all let me know what's going on in the comments. And if y'all know any more about this case, please feel free to hit me up. There you see them on the screen, 919-587-7782. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the video. Peace and blessings. I'm out.